To the Turkish Cypriots, this video is for you. So as a Greek Cypriot, let's talk about what I feel about the Turkish Cypriots. Firstly, we have a lot of respect and love for the Turkish Cypriots. It might not seem like that at times, but any balanced Greek Cypriot understands that the Turkish Cypriots are Cypriots, okay? And a lot of us never really wanted anything against this, but unfortunately the events of pre-1974 led to big misconceptions from both sides. And then obviously the actions from 1974 and on led to even more, and then it all went downhill from there on. And I know there's many people who try to bring a voice to the love that the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots have. And this is completely true. Many atrocities did happen pre-1974 to the Turkish Cypriots, and mainly by the organization called outweigh, who was trying supposedly for the enosis of Greece and Cyprus. But then they started obviously doing the most atrocious, violent things, which led to the deaths of people. And you forget, this is to the Turkish Cypriots I'm saying, we act like only Turkish Cypriots died. They didn't. Greek Cypriots also died. And those who tried to oppose the EOKA at the time, they themselves, some of them, found a very bad end. So you see, you need to remember all of these things when you're discussing, right? And I keep getting from Turkish Cypriots I know that Turkey intervened in 1974. They did not intervene. If this was an intervention, all you would have done is had a small cordon line of a few miles maybe, brought in all of the Turkish Cypriots within that zone until things settled down and proper, legitimate laws, action, governance took place from the Cyprus government, right? Which obviously there was civil war at the time, so it wouldn't have been easy. But give it a bit more time, there would have been. Our president Makarios at the time, he outlawed EOKA. He did. And if you look at your history, this is true. And he warned that bad things might happen if EOKA keeps going. And what ended up happening? Exactly what he warned. So President Makarios, in my eyes, was an incredible president, an amazing man, and he tried his best to look out for the interest of as many as possible. He tried his best, and of course, it did not end up to his favor, and a political coup tried to take place, and of course, it all failed miserably when Turkey decided enough is enough, and they swiftly decided to invade Cyprus and obviously, on one hand, protect the Turkish Cypriots, which they did to a certain extent, but then, you know, they ended up taking a third of our island, and hence from 1974 and on, this big problem that we have still exists, which is called the Cyprus problem. And it is that Turkey took over our land. They did. So a third of Cypriots in 1974, a third of the Greek Cypriot population, or the whole of the Cypriot population, in fact, was displaced from the north. And there was a lot of Turkish Cypriots that came from the south to the north because of what happened. But actually, some already lived in the north. So if you look at the actual figures of what was displaced, you know, it was about 50,000 Turkish Cypriots, and it was about, I think, 150 to 200,000 Greek Cypriots who got displaced. So, you know, we say what we say, but, and you know, and I try to have good, healthy discussions with people, but, you know, and Turkish Cypriots, but they come at me with 1974 is an intervention. This is ridiculous and preposterous. It was not an intervention in the end. You can't take a third of of another government's country, or a third of a country, and then come and say that this was legitimately an intervention. Good on Turkey that they came to protect you. I'm not saying we didn't deserve what we got to some extent because of what Eogabi went to do. I'm not saying we didn't deserve something. And a lot of Greek Cypriots maybe wouldn't admit to that, but some karma clearly did come our way. But it wasn't the general public or the people who wanted this. A lot of us supported Makarios, and a lot of us were not in agreement at all with what was happening with the Eogabi. So you need to remember all of this, but please do remember the most important things. And I'm going to do a more sort of detailed video about what I've spoken here. But I wanted to put out something for now, just so that there's more content as well, and so that people understand. So we have a lot of love for the Turkish Cypriots, and they are Cypriots. And guess what? I know a lot of Turkish Cypriots who even speak Greek. It's amazing. It's lovely to see. And I know some Greek Cypriots as well who speak Turkish Cypriot. But guess what? There's more Turkish Cypriots who speak Greek than the other way around. Why? Because Cyprus is predominantly made of Greek Cypriots. Cyprus is mostly made of Greek-speaking Cypriots, right? So you need to remember this. You need to remember that the bigger population, way bigger population of Cyprus is the Greek Cypriot population, you know, and we can't start, you know, going too crazy about how the minority feels, because it's not fair. It's like me as a Londoner starting to go, right, London needs to start becoming Greek. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know, or it needs to be Cypriot. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm a minority here. Well, in fact, I'm a Brit anyways. I have a British passport as well, and I've had it since birth, so I'm lucky in that respect. But, you know, please, you need to start opening your hearts a bit towards the Greek Cypriots who have your backs, because there's a lot of them who do. But you can't keep saying silly things like 1974 was an intervention. It could have been, and to some extent it was, but then it was completely and utterly overblown into an invasion. And we lost a lot. My family lost a lot. We have lands we lost, and I know many people who did. Almost 200,000 Greek Cypriots displaced. Do you call that an intervention? So your Turkey comes to intervene for you, to defend you, and they chuck out 3 to 4 times the amount of people they came to defend. It doesn't, you know, so please remember this. Yeah, but I'm gonna make a deeper video than this to go through things. Yeah, I have your back, remember, I really do, but we need to be balanced about the things that we say, or else what's the point? We're just chucking out words, okay? And to be fair, guys, I'll just put it out there. Most Greek Cypriots don't really ever believe that the Cyprus problem will ever be solved anymore. Too much investment as well has come into the north of Cyprus. We genuinely do not believe that a solution will ever happen. And unfortunately for the Turkish Cypriots, that means maybe what you're due in some ways will never come to be, because the problem needs to be solved in order for you guys to find some peace from this too. But unfortunately, it's not going to go. And what's important is, though we're happy for Turkish Cypriots to have a say in Cypriot government, we're not happy for Turkey, the country, to have say in our government. You know, it would be an absolutely preposterous thing. But anyways, that's it for me today, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. More to come.